Hey crew, it's Adam. I'm a husband, a father, a pastor, a follower of Jesus who, just like you, is trying to learn what it looks like to fully live and follow Jesus in the middle of real life. It is one thing to be someone on Sundays, but what about Monday through Saturday? And so here, we're going to talk about faith and making a difference in the messy, ordinary moments where it's often the hardest to live out. Some weeks I'll share what God is teaching me. Other weeks I'll sit down with leaders, pastors, athletes, friends. There's no fluff, just encouragement and truth for your life between Sundays. I'm so glad you're here.
Well, hello, crew. It is Adam and Emily, and if you are listening to this, then you are listening to Life Between Sundays.
Let's go.
Episode 335 today.
Gosh.
We are so glad that you are here, whether you're driving, you're walking, you're working, getting ready for the day. We're just honored that you would join us and listen.
I think we've asked this before. Where do you often listen to podcasts at?
Everywhere, basically. I feel like I never am not listening to something. Actually, at work, I usually don't, but when I'm getting ready, I do, driving, and then as soon as I get home from work, I put something on again.
Oh, you don't listen to them at work?
Not really, because people are just coming past my desk so often that it's just I would have to take out my headphones every 2 seconds. So it's I'll just not.
I'm probably the same way. In the car, on a walk with my dog, I do listen to them at work quite a bit. So
here?
Yeah, I'll have one playing in the back. It's the only place that I watch on YouTube.
Really? Is that work?
As at work, yeah. Yeah, I'll have it on the background and I'll just keep playing it. It's the
wow.
only place. Otherwise, I don't listen to podcasts on YouTube.
Yeah, I don't really listen to them on YouTube either. Unless I'm sitting at home, I made a good meal and I'm ready to sit down and watch something. I have one specific podcast that I'll watch on YouTube and it is so good.
There it is. I like it.
High Low Buffalo. What do you got?
High, low, Buffalo. I have a high this week, and I'm going to keep it general. There's something right now that we're pursuing as a church that is really exciting, overwhelming. And yet I'm trying to change my perspective on it because I can't believe I get to be a part of a church that God is doing what he's doing. Mm-hmm. And this is all coming from growing and seeing people come to Christ. So if there's any part of me that ever complains about this project, I just need to zip it. Because sure, it's stressful and sure, it's overwhelming, and yet it's really, really cool to be a part of. So how's that really for keeping it abstract?
Yeah, wow. What does that even mean?
I think the leadership thing in that is oftentimes awesome things turn into things that we start to complain about. And it's you dream about this. This is something you want to do. And yet even some of those awesome things you can start kind of having a grumbling spirit about. And I had a little bit of a grumbling spirit for a while.
I had a grumbling spirit. I have a low.
You want to share?
Yeah, I crashed my car.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I did not crash my car. On record, I did not crash my car. Someone crashed into me. Instead of driving forward at a stoplight, they drove backwards, and it was a big semi-truck.
And then they drove away.
And then they drove away. Yeah, to make it all better.
But you got pictures of them.
I got pictures. I got videos. We're gonna get you. We're gonna find you, whoever you are. And we are gonna.
I feel like are you accusing our family here?
I'm not saying it is one of you, but I'm not saying it's not. So
I feel like we're at Thanksgiving and you just called out Uncle Bob and it's you.
Yeah,
and it's oh my gosh. Someone's gonna
pay
it.
The damage wasn't that bad. Thank the Lord, but
we still got breath in our lungs and we're alive.
Yeah, so we got breath in our lungs and we got out of bed today and we made it to work. So here we are. So that's my low.
It turns into a high.
No, but sure.
It's perfect.
We have a fun episode today. It's just going to be me and Adam posted on his Instagram just a little question box asking if you guys had any questions for a pastor. What would you ask? Really, we didn't have any specific,
no asterisks.
Yeah, asterisks. Anything that we were looking for. Any sort of question you could ask. So we got your questions.
And they were awesome, by the way. If just really quick, if you don't follow me on Instagram, Adam A. Weber is the place that I am at. I'm kind of not on Facebook really at all anymore. I'm on LinkedIn a little bit, but Instagram's where I'm at.
Instagram guy.
So come find me there.
Okay.
But the questions were so good.
Yeah, they were really good.
All over the place. We kind of grouped them a little bit.
Yeah.
Just a little bit of grouping. So I'll be quiet. Okay. You're asking the questions. I'm not.
Are you ready for me to roll?
I'm ready.
Okay. These are questions for you. So I'm not going to, not really going to answer the question like myself. I'm just here to ask you the question.
Okay.
Just as a caveat.
You're on the podcast too, so feel free to chime in.
If I have a thought, don't worry, I'll share it. But some of this,
That's great.
Some of these I don't. Okay. So we have a little bit of a mixture of things here. So the first question that I have for you, revolving just kind of about like the political climate right now. How does one get out of spiraling with everything that is going on right now, just within our world, in our country?
These were the questions that because there's a group of them.
Yeah,
that
there
are
was quite a few that were similar.
And how do I get out of the spiraling with everything going on in our world? I would just start with nothing is more important than your soul. So if you're not healthy, everyone around you isn't healthy and the world around you isn't healthy. So that's pretty important to be healthy. That's more important than what's going on in our world, in other countries, in our government. It's really important. So how to get out of the spiraling? I give you permission to not know everything about everything for the sake of your soul. Because again, it's not just you. It's not a selfish thing. It impacts your life and actual lives around you. So I would just challenge you, if you're in that spiral, what are you taking in that you need to pause on? Not forever, maybe forever. What do you need to pause? So, hey, I think you should stop following these certain people. I think you should maybe just take a break from Facebook. And by the way, you don't need to announce it. That just adds to the stuff and it adds to the drama. I just can't take it for my soul. That's like passive aggressiveness. So don't even do that. Just unfollow some people, get off apps completely, stop watching the news cycle. By the way, you knowing about it doesn't change anything about the world. And so I give you permission just to unplug for the sake of your soul. And so I literally now watch the news. I only watch the local news now, with the exception. So I watch the local news just to get the weather, and I'll maybe tune into sports, just whatever. Otherwise, there's just a few places. I follow certain people on Instagram that have a kind of a range of kind of political bents that keep me updated on what's going on, and I can kind of decipher through it. But for a season, don't even do that. Just totally unplug and just be okay with that. But we're addicted to it. That's the hard thing. You're addicted to it. You hate it. It drives you insane, yet you can't stop. So you need to delete the app, and maybe your spouse or best friend, and say can you change my password? Because I'm addicted to this and I can't stop. So I would take drastic measures. So what are you taking out that's not helpful? And maybe there's even, I don't know if this is really true. Maybe there's people at your workplace that are really political that you're just not going to engage with. I think 9 times out of 10, it's just social media, what we're listening to, whatever. Sometimes there is that loud, obnoxious person in our actual life, not on Facebook world, but in our actual life. But even our crazy uncle that's nuts usually isn't too crazy in front of us. And if they are, then take a pause from your crazy uncle. Yeah. Whatever. Mm-hmm. So what do you need to take out? And then what do you need to add in? So what do I need to add in? Time with God. I need to add in getting to church. I need to add time with God's word. I need to add friendships because, gosh, I don't have any friendships. And so I need to start meeting with my girlfriends, with my guy friends. I need to get surrounded in a small group. I need to I need to start working out. I need to go on walks. I need to get fresh air. So that would be my thoughts. You need to get rid of some things, and you need to make sure you're adding some things. Okay,
follow-up question on the getting rid of part. So some people would say, oh, if you don't know anything at all, that can come across kind of ignorant and you're privileged because you don't feel like you need to know anything. So is there a fine line there of okay, I'm kind of informed of what's going on versus being I'm oblivious to the world around me and my little bubble's good. And
that's so good. So, the question was, am I spiraling out of control? If you're spiraling out of control, I don't care if you're ignorant. Okay. So hard, no exception. I'm spiraling. I'm unhealthy. Again, you're no good to anybody. Mm-hmm. You're an informed, crazy person. Mm-hmm. Who's negative, who's bringing division because you're unhealthy. So I don't want you to know anything more. So that would be for that person.
Got it.
So that person who is at a healthy place, yeah, I do think it's important to stay informed. I do think, to glance at it, not to be consumed with it, like to glance at the news, to see what's going on in our world, to know what people are walking through. And so, but maybe 10 minutes of it a day, 5 minutes of it a day, instead of, this is crazy, 7 hours of it a day. No one's doing that. Yeah, you are. Like I checked my phone time the other day. I was on 6 hours. Like,
whoa,
make me gag. That's 6 hours of crap filling our minds. Now, again, there's some information, but there's probably 10 minutes of information that's helpful. Here's what I'm also going to say. There's so much to that person who's like, you need to stay informed. What I would just say back, and I don't want to be rude, what about the foster kids in South Dakota? Do you not care about them? Like, just being honest. What about the girls being sex trafficked right now in Kenya? Do you not care about them? Like, do you not care about sex trafficking? You must not care because you're not informed. I haven't seen you post about it. You really don't care. Like, I'm kind of getting edgy. You really don't care about thousands of little girls being sex trafficked in Kenya. I was just in Kenya a year ago. You don't care? There's no end to it.
Yeah, that's so true.
There's no end to it. Like, you really don't care about foster kids in South Dakota because you haven't posted about them? And so, like, our news focuses on certain things, but there's so much else going on in our world. What I'd challenge you to be most informed about is what is happening in your city. What is happening in your community, even your neighborhood. What's happening if you want to get a bigger picture, what's happening in your state that you need to be informed of.
Okay.
Those are the things that I want to be informed of, because guess what? That's where I have the most influence. In my neighborhood, if there's someone being mistreated, if there's someone who can't get a job, if there's someone in my church that is struggling, there was a gal in our church who had a language barrier. She's not from the States, and she's in my world. So no longer is it just a Facebook post. It's, what are you going to do? And so I literally went to my own Facebook friends and said, hey, I have this friend. She really struggles with English. So there's going to be a language barrier. Is there any chance? And I had at least 30 people say, hey, I'd love to talk with her. What was so cool, I didn't feel like I could bring it up. Someone on the staff here said, could we potentially hire her at Embrace?
Yeah.
And we have. And that is, I need to be informed with that. Here's what we hate though. We just want to do a post. I'm going to get edgy.
Oh boy.
Oh, you mean get skin in the game? Oh, well, I just want to post. Oh, you mean like you might need to, in this example, you might need to raise $600 out of your own account in your own family to help that person. Whoa, they might be messy. You might need to get on Google to try to translate broken English. That sounds messy. I don't want that. I just want to post. Jesus doesn't talk about posting. He talks about living and helping the Samaritan.
So that goes into my next question. This is perfect. This is a great transition to this next question. How should Christians respond to political war? What does Jesus say? I'm trying to, I got fired up there. I'm spiraling out of control. No, what I would say is, if you're Republican, Jesus doesn't agree with your politics. If you're Democrat, Jesus does not agree with your politics. He doesn't. I'm so sorry. So remind me of the question, but I just want to say, like, he does not fit into any category. And that's what's so fun when you get around Christians from all around the world and they start like highlighting how foolish anybody is who thinks that Jesus can fit into their box. Mm-hmm. You're just like, oh man, crap. When I was at Asbury, at one point, all of my neighbors, my like literal neighbors next door, none of them were Americans. And I can remember just talking politics with them and they're like, this is insane. like you think that, so like, I think just to have that awareness, that's hard to forget because Americans, oftentimes we think the world does revolve around ourselves. Yeah. But that's humanity. We think the world revolves around ourselves. Back to the question. Can you say the question one more time? Yeah. How should Christians respond to political war and what does Jesus say?
How does he respond? I think very thoughtful. His brother James talks about being slow to speak, quick to listen. So he's that. So he's just listening. He's not talking all the time. So he's listening, he's observing. And then I would start with right around them. Where are the people who are being unseen? Where are the people who are being unloved? Where are the people who are not being cared for? And then he'd go to them and he'd have relationship with them. And that's really, really messy. But even in Sioux Falls, South Dakota, it exists. Because I have relationships with so many of those people. So I would say he goes to them. And then he would encourage us to do what we can do so we can help them ourselves. We can help provide a job. We can help teach basic skills. We can help make sure they get an opportunity that another person would get, and maybe make a connection for them and really help them. And then if there's bigger structures, which is not my strong suit, by the way, I'm all about helping. This is my default. I help the person right around me. The bigger structures just overwhelm me and it's like it's never going to change. But if there's bigger structures, that's where I think we can use our voice. We can call our representatives. Like if there's something, like start with your own little world though. Like start here. Is there injustices? Is there things taking place? Like what needs to change? And so it's talking to our officials. Some people feel called to it. Just to give a shout out to Paul Tenhanken. That guy is so legit. I mean, he's using his voice and his power to help people that other people don't notice or care. And so I think he'd want us to see the people around us, to look for ways that we can love them and encourage them. And he would also have a lot of conversations with people and not spout off all over Facebook. Like he would want a dialogue. He'd want to have a conversation, to sit down. And then if there's some bigger structures that need to change, he would help that. He would help change that. He would speak into that. But we want someone else to do that. That's the easy answer. We don't want to do it ourselves.
Yeah.
And we'd rather get focused on something on the other side of the world, because the other side of the world doesn't mess with our world. When it's in our world, all of a sudden it's like, man, this is so messy. Right. They're back on my doorstep again at my house, instead of like they're across the world and I'm posting about like I think he'd want us to start where we are, bringing the kingdom of heaven on earth as it is in heaven. And so that's what I would say.
I like it.
It's messy.
That's good.
It's messy.
Good. Before we go any further, there are some awesome partners that make Life Between Sundays possible. Adam, who are our partners today?
Yeah, our partners, once again, are incredible. Our first partner is the International Justice Mission. IJM is a global nonprofit working to end slavery and violence around the world, and they focus on the most vulnerable of people experiencing poverty. IJM goes into some of the deepest, darkest, cruelest places, honestly, on the face of our earth, and they bring the full force of the law there to bring healing, to bring rescue, to pull people out of what they're walking through. Bless you.
Bless me. Thank you.
That's good. And so, honestly, the work of IJM is incredible. If you are interested in becoming a freedom partner, maybe you're just like, hey, I don't know if I'm making a difference with my finances. A great place to start is give to IJM on a monthly basis. That's what my wife and I do. IJM calls it being a freedom partner. And so to consider being a freedom partner, go to ijm.org. And I just challenge you, give $20 a month to the work that they're doing. It's incredible. Our second partner is Vern ID Mitsubishi. Vern ID is a growing employee-owned faith-based company that strives to deliver dreams and transform lives in all that they do. If you live anywhere in the Sioux Falls area, you know that Vern ID is known for giving back. They're constantly giving back to nonprofits, giving back to people who no one else is helping. I mean, they are blessing people all the time. And so that's what's so cool. It's like, hey, if you're looking for a vehicle and you want an awesome experience and you want to do a whole bunch of good through what you invest in a vehicle, go to Vern ID. Whether you're looking for an Outlander like I drive, a CRV like my wife drives, an Acura, a GMC, Chevy, you name the make of vehicle, they're going to have it. And no matter where you live, they'll ship it to you. Go visit vernid.com, vernid.com.
Okay, so your next question. What does it look like to love your neighbor with the current political landscape, especially right now in South Dakota?
Oof. Okay, so that's similar to what we talked about. But I actually really like these nuances.
Yeah.
A couple of things. I think it's not hook, line, and sinker following a political party. So I think there's that. Not like, oh, I'm gonna like affirm everything about my political party and then turn a blind eye to everything that's clearly not Jesus.
Yeah.
So I think it's a balanced understanding of like, yep, this is the party I feel most at home with, whatever that is. But there are things that are clearly not Jesus. Mm-hmm. And I think in conversations, I respect those people the most who nuance that.
Yeah.
The people who are just like, oh.
Who just stand firm and believe
Biden's
everything.
the best. Trump's the best. There's no imperfections. I'm like, who are you? With both of those, I'm like, no, I have some issues with both. So I think it's that balanced perspective. In conversations, again, yes, you can post. I could really care less about what you post about. It's having conversations. It's like dialoguing in that. That's the love of Jesus. Even as Christians, to have those nuances, I think is very winsome to our non-believing coworkers. Instead of just being the person who's like, Trump, Biden, it's like everybody's like, peace out, dude. Like you're not listening to anything going on in our world. So I think a conversation is just having those nuances. And then how do you love your neighbor? You love them. I do think there's a place to be a voice for them. So I do. I just don't really see that changing anything on Facebook, where I'd be a voice for my neighbors. If I think there's like an injustice taking place, call my representative, voice my opinion there. Voice my opinion with a vote, whatever. But here's the thing. So the Super Bowl, is it Bad Bunny? Is that?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm way out of the music scene. What I would say is, do you have relationships with Hispanics, Latinos, and Latinos? Right now, because Super Bowl, I don't know why this guy, you can't even speak Spanish, blah, 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 blah. Instead of posting about it, build relationships with people who are not, their English is not their first language, Spanish is. So on Sunday, like I've done literally the last 3 months, right now I'm just so grateful for the Hispanic families at Embrace. And so I go out of my way just to say, hey, I told a man who's the father in this Hispanic family, we wouldn't be the same church without you. Mm-hmm. And then I had an event a couple of months ago, and I invited him to that event. And now he has all these key relationships with people because he doesn't have many relationships. He's new to South Dakota. Now he's got all these relationships with influential people in our city. So I've given him my connection family. Mm-hmm. And there's another young Hispanic man in our church. He's been in the front row. Great guy, young guy. I'm going to guess 19, 20. I could say his name, but I don't want to call him out here. And I just went to him a couple weeks ago. I said, I just want you to know you're a leader in our church. And he was like, what? And I was like, you're a leader in our church. Everybody in the front row and the second row, you're leading all of them. And I don't know if he's ever had anybody tell him. So what does it look like to love my neighbor? So many people, I love Spanish on Facebook. Okay, well, I like Joe Burrow. Do you know anybody? That's what it looks like to love them. And then again, uplifting them because they may not have relationships. Many of them do have relationships. They don't need that. They're successful people in our community already. But there's some that that's what it looks like to lift up, to empower. I wish my 3 of my kids are fluent in Spanish. My youngest is growing in that way. I'm envious because I know that when someone speaks my language, it makes me feel loved and seen. And I only wish that I was able to do that for the people at Embrace, first off, my community, in my neighborhood, second off, if anybody I cross paths with, I wish, because that is loving my neighbor. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's super cool. One of my friends is a high school teacher, and she had a student that was deaf. I don't remember what year of teaching it was, but she has started learning sign language so that she can talk to her. I'm like, oh, that's really cool. Super cool.
That's profoundly seeing that person. Mm-hmm. Now, again, there's times to use our voice, call our representative, tell our friends what we think, whatever, specifically around election time, face to face. I don't see Facebook posts moving the needle, but I think our world would have said, well, she should post. Don't actually learn sign language. Just post that you think businesses should have sign language.
Sweet.
I just wish churches would have sign language. I actually do too. And that's been something that I've pushed for several times, and maybe I need to push for it again. But we always want to say like, hey, you over there, change. You over there, do something. But man, that's hard work.
Yeah.
I took sign language for a J term in college. Languages are like my Achilles heel. It was very hard for me. So even the thought, like, that is an act of love.
Yeah, I'm like,
so that's super cool.
I know E. That's all I know. Okay. Next question. How do you help others in the Christian?
Was that actually accurate?
I think.
You only know A and E?
A, E.
B, C.
Yeah.
I used to know the whole alphabet.
By the way, let's keep this on because I love that Annie and Zach were both on our podcast right now. So totally keep that on. Let's go.
I was going
Okay.
to ask about cutting the previous thing about us talking about the question.
Yeah, I'll probably cut that.
I have that in my notes.
And moving Adam's phone.
Yeah.
Yeah, we want to cut that in the video too.
Yep.
Yeah.
To make sure.
Yep.
Okay. How do you help others in the Christian faith take mental health seriously?
Really quick. Is there any other questions that are politics that we can? Should we? I almost feel like we should keep going on that.
I think so too, because I think we probably should even wrap this one up kind of soon.
12:16, we have till 12:30, but there would be.
I really want to get
Why is
to
my family being torn apart by the events in our world?
Yep. Is there any other
I think
ones?
we've only been recording this one for about 18 minutes.
Okay.
altogether.
Is there any other political questions?
How does the church view what's happening in the United States right now?
That's awesome. Let's get to those two questions for sure.
Okay.
Put the mental health one in the second half.
Okay.
Yeah, I kind of think the mental health one I'd almost be okay even kick into the next episode.
Yeah.
I really thought like what I was kind of thinking was politics and then some questions around me. I think this episode is going to get listened to a whole bunch of times.
Yeah, I think so
I think we
too.
should probably include a couple more Adam-specific questions in this episode then.
Okay.
We only had the one.
And that's what I like about
Yeah.
some of those like questions around me.
Yeah.
Like and though like I'm game, so I would kick the mental health one to the next time. Yep.
Okay, your next question. We're kind of staying on just like politics a little bit here. How does the church view what's happening in the United States right now?
Okay, so every church does this differently. The church that I pastor doesn't come out with statements. What our hope is to point people to Jesus. Again, and I think the statement thing is what people want. We want to have conversations. We want to point to Scripture. We want to point people to Christ. Now, there's times when I will enter into things that I know our church, as a pastor, I'll enter into things. I just, statements, you literally will, I'll have to make a statement every single week. Every single week. Again, because I'm not going to get sucked into the news.
Just because there's like something going on every single week.
This week, I'm going to make a statement on foster kids. I have to, because it's in our state. This week, I need to make a statement on those girls in Kenya that are being trafficked. I need to. Like, I will have to have 20 statements to address what's going on. I honestly, even in our own state. Mm-hmm. So there's no end to it. And so instead of our statements, which again, have so many nuances to them. If your statements don't have nuances, gosh, I just really struggle with that. And Jesus, man, the guy was asked questions all the time for a statement, and he rarely gave it to him because he knew that oftentimes it was a trap. It was like, you just want to hear what you want to hear. So instead of statements, here's Jesus. He's the hope of the world. better than a statement, which is going to peeve everybody off. We're going to introduce you to him. And by the way, he is going to turn your world uncomfortably upside down. And the more time you spend with him and the more you realize he doesn't fit into your political party, he is just going to be a rock in your shoe with the love of Jesus. Like, that's just it. And that, let me just say, like, you don't care about what's going on. No. I've seen Jesus change people's political stances so many times. So many times. I've seen Jesus change leaders in our community, business leaders, and being more generous and being more thoughtful and raising people up and changing the way they treat people and inviting people who don't look like them into their homes because there's a need. Like, I've seen that change the world. And so that's what we're going to lean to rather than these statements. It's like, you're just looking for something to either cheer on or be angry about. And again, like, I just want to highlight, there are so many statements not being made about things in your life that you can change that you're not addressing because you're focused over here. And so I would ask, what's your statement on what's going on in your neighborhood, in your church, in your world that you're not addressing? And just for the record, if you make more, I think the number is 60 grand a year, you are in the top 1% of wealth in the world. And so I just want to tell you, as a very wealthy individual, what are you doing? Because we don't want to hear that. Like, with your time, what are you doing? With your money. I wish there was something that you couldn't make a political statement about something unless you invested $1,000 of your money or 20 hours of your time. Because otherwise, let's just be honest, between me and you really don't care about what you're talking about. Otherwise, your checkbook and your calendar would show it. And so that's what I would just say. If you want to make a statement, I would just challenge you. What does your bank say, account say, and what does your calendar say? Right there. Make a clip out of that. Like, that's the truth. Well, that's that. We want cheap really statements. Good. We don't want messy lives. We want to post about people. We don't want to love people because people, whether they look like me or like you, they're messy. And so when we invite them into our world gets messy. And all of a sudden we have to spend money and time and energy. And I don't have time and energy and money. And that's what Jesus wants us to do. And when you follow Jesus, that's what he's going to mess with. Is your life. Yeah. Not your
I didn't want to do this.
Yeah, not your Facebook. He's going to mess with your life. Yeah, I wish he only messed with our Facebook. And he does mess with our Facebook. Note to self.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he does. I'm like, oh my gosh. Again, like, I just think about like Christians right now and their posts. I'm like, will you stop associating yourself with Jesus? Because you are pushing people away from Jesus that I love and care about.
Yeah, that's
and
good.
Jesus loves and cares about.
Yeah, that's really good. That's great. That was a great answer, Adam. Okay.
I got fired up.
Okay, I got one more question here on this frame.
Yep.
Why is my family being torn apart by the events in our world? So I even think, like, the first thing that comes to my head is the Super Bowl halftime performance. Like, if you liked it, you didn't like it. Now our family is gonna fight over the Super Bowl halftime show. Like, sorry, that's just so stupid.
We can make everything political. Like, I don't know. The sun, do you like the sunshine? I don't know. It's probably political. Literally, we could get into global warming, whatever else. Like, you literally talking about the sun. There's something we get fired up about. But so why is it dividing our family? Because that's what Satan loves to do. That's what he loves to do. He loves to mess with marriages. He loves to mess with families. He loves to mess with churches. He loves to mess with friends groups. Anything he can divide, he'll divide, and he'll use anything to divide it. And that you can over spiritualize that, but that's the heart of it. And so I think, like, are you adding to the division, or are you like just staying away from it? Like, are you bringing peace and healing, or are you bringing division? Now, again, that doesn't mean we should have vanilla stances on stuff, but nothing in our world is more important than the world we're in and the relationships we're in. Nothing. It is not worth it. Even if it's like my favorite, like literally away from pointing people to Jesus. There's nothing worth dividing your family over. And so it's exercising self-control of this is unhelpful. I know that if I engage with my sister in Christ, like let's say it was you, I know if I brought up politics with you and it was a divisive thing, what am I trying to do? Peeve you off? Am I just trying to
Get a reaction? Yeah.
Or like if I know our relationship's rocky, I'm not going to address it because I'm going to try to establish like, hey, I see you and I care for you. And I'm going to build street cred before I start being weird.
Yeah.
So I think it's self-control of this is unhelpful and it's not worth my family. Like there's no issue away from pointing people to Christ that is worth dividing your family. So self-control, prayer, asking God for his wisdom. If your family is at all feeling divided, you can't control your family. You're not posting or sharing anything political for the next year. With your family, I'm just telling you as a pastor, you're not bringing up politics for a year.
That would be
and
good.
if you do, it's causing division in your family. And I think Jesus would struggle with it of just saying like, what are you doing? What are you doing? Do they know you that you love them? It feels like right now you don't. And yet you just keep throwing wedges between yourself. Now, if the relationship's healthy, then you can have dialogue. If there's trust there, hey, Emily, like, gosh, you're spouting off about this. I just think like, just as a brother in Christ, like, I feel like Jesus might have some things to say about that. Now we can have that. Yeah. And instead of just sharing read this, it's hard to get upset with someone. And it's a lot harder to get upset with someone if you're looking them in the eye and you care about them and you see that like, oh, you're getting emotional now. Like, did I say something that hurt you? Right. Yeah. Like I really care about this people group and you just totally threw them underneath the bus. I'm really, really sorry. Like there's just that nuance and I can see that. And so that would be my thing. Pray, don't add to the division. Maybe even if there's a way of saying, like you have to be gentle with this. Hey, do you think it'd be okay if we just paused on politics for a while? Yeah. Like that's maybe something you could ask. Like it just feels like this is unhelpful. Or if you have leverage with the family member, let's say your brother, and you're on the same page politically and your sister isn't. But she's trying to get, like they're just fighting. If you have the trust built with your brother, go to your brother and say, hey, I know we do not agree with our sister, but I don't think this is helpful. Yeah. You know? Really? Like, I just think she's foolish and she's so naive and whatever. But this is unhelpful. Yeah. This is really unhelpful. That's where you can use your leverage.
Yeah. That's good.
I'm getting fired up at points.
Oh, you're doing great. Okay, this is kind of taking another turn. As a lead pastor, how do you handle salary for yourself? Oh, gosh. I love this question. So I don't handle my salary for myself. That would be the number one thing. I do not handle my salary for myself. So I report to a lead team. We have it listed on our site who those people are. And even they don't rely on it themselves. What they do, not just for my salary, but for the salaries of our team as a whole, there's different research groups that research, hey, what is like a good ballpark for this position, this position, this position. Yeah. And so they do that research. I think every other month they look into that. Yeah. And then off that, they work together off a suggestion. And I believe they talk with our 2 executive pastors as well. Like, hey, what are your thoughts on this? I don't know if they rope them in or not for my salary, but they discuss it and based off that information, and then they help set it. So I do not. Yeah, nothing to do. I don't have a vote on my salary. Yeah, that's a great question. Yeah, I do not in any way the fear of God would fill my soul. I wouldn't sleep for 6 months if I was in charge of setting my salary. But it's definitely really, really hard and challenging. And that's why this outside like firm that really gives us information is really, really helpful. Yeah. Even for us as a team, like, oh my gosh, I didn't realize this area is really underpaid. Or, hey, no, this is actually really like right in line. Yeah. Like it's been really helpful that way too. Yeah. Great question. Naturally, you gain popularity with growth. How do you keep your ego in check? Oof, great question. I feel like I get that question, like similar questions often. I could be blind to it. I don't struggle with, on a daily basis,
I don't struggle with ego and pride. I struggle with confidence and insecurity. For years, I used to joke, once Embrace gets a good lead pastor, they'll go somewhere. And then I started feeling really convicted from God, being like, hey, will you stop talking down to yourself? Because I'm the one who put you in that position. I didn't want to start a church. It wasn't my idea. So and again, I could be totally wrong. I don't feel in my soul, again, my close friends might say otherwise, that I struggle with pride and ego and let it go into my head. I feel the opposite. I know how imperfect I am. One of the things I really struggle with is being put on a pedestal, because I just know I'm going to let you down. So it feels, when I was younger, I used to kind of subtly like when people put me on pedestals. And now I'm like, no. Because what you're doing is you're putting expectations on me that I know I'm not going to be able to fulfill.
Right.
And so I now I'm like, oh, they're like, you're amazing. You've changed my life. And I'm like, nope, Jesus has changed your life. And I've been able to be a vessel in that.
Yeah.
So I really struggle. That's something I struggle with all the time is that. And just knowing, the thing I keep saying is I've never been more unimpressed with me while being in total awe of God. You follow me for 5 minutes and you'll be disappointed. I'll hurt you, or I'll say something hurtful, or I'll make you feel unseen or unloved. God, he just gets better and better and better.
That's good.
Yeah.
I like that. Are you publishing any new books soon?
Jeez. I feel like this is the Holy Spirit reaching out.
No kidding.
I have a book. So I have a book deal right now. That's a true story.
How's that going?
I have a book deal right now, and I'm supposed to be writing a book, and I'm not writing a book. And I'm so honored to be writing with this publisher. It's one of the best publishers in the world. So I need to find time to do that. So it's, as I said in the intro, right now we're pursuing a big project here at the church right now. So I feel like that's taking a lot of my time and energy, but I really do want to write a book. It's been so fun. So I've written 2 books and I feel like I'm hearing more about them. I think the last one I wrote was like 3-4 years ago, or even longer. I think it was like probably 5 or 6 years ago.
Oh, really?
But I'm hearing more about those books right now than ever before.
Whoa.
Like people like tagging me and commenting and whatever, away from like the release month. Like it's been really, really fun to hear people mention them. So yep, I need to write a book. Literally, I have to. It's my contract. It's not like God's calling me. He is calling me, but it's also a contract. I signed the paper, so I need to do that.
Okay, it's coming at some point.
It's coming at some point.
You just stay on your toes. You never know.
Pray for inspiration.
Yeah. Any final closing thoughts there to wrap us all up?
No, I hope this episode was helpful, and specifically with the political and the division. I mean, I'm hearing about that more and more and more and more, and I grieve it. I don't like it. So I hope you're encouraged. I hope you're also challenged. More than what I think, though, I'd encourage you to pursue Jesus and ask for his wisdom. In James, it says, if anyone needs wisdom, ask God and he'll generously give it to you. And I would just challenge you to do that in this area specifically, like to ask God for his wisdom. So that's what I know. And I love the personal questions as well. And we got a whole bunch more questions that we're going to get to next week.
Yes. Part 2 will be coming.
Part 2 is coming
shortly. Thank you guys so much for listening today. Again, we're so grateful for each and every one of you. Have a great rest of your day.
Have an awesome rest of your day.